Good morning. Today I want to talk a little bit about framing your mindset, about the choices that you make in order to direct the decisions that you're going to choose to make throughout the day and throughout your journey. The first thing you need to do is you need to make sure you're choosing to find the good that's in all bad situations that happen to you. This is extremely important. We need to reframe that energy and those vibes that we're putting out there to learn from these challenges and these bad things that have happened in our lives. But we need to choose to make sure that we're identifying the good in those things. Next, we need to choose to make sure that this decision process is becoming a habit for us. We don't want to be drawn down the path of all this negative energy and always thinking the woe me and this only happens to me and if I only did this would happen. We need to choose to make the energy a habit of finding the good and the bad. Now, one of the ways that we can do this is something that I've learned in an amazing program that I'm in called Arete, and it's columnizing all the things that are causing you stress in your life. I want you to grab a piece of paper and on the first column write down everything in your life that's causing you stress. The things that have maybe directed your path, or anything such as sometimes I'm too nice. There are things that I'm intense and I talk really fast. And these are things that are challenging in my life. They're causing me pain and they're causing me discomfort. So we need to make sure we're identifying all the things in your life that are causing you pain, discomfort, grief, and things like that. And then the next column, I want you to write at the top of it and say, what would a loser say about this? So for each one of those areas that you've identified, I want you to write down, what would a loser say? Oh, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to me. Oh, nobody's ever going to want to bring me on the team. Or, oh man, I can't believe we're going to lose all this money because of this and that. This is the things that losers would say. The next column I want you to identify is, what did I choose to learn? What did I choose to learn from that negative experience that happened, or that bad thing that happened in my life? What did I choose to learn? Again, we're always talking about choices that we're making. We're talking about framing our mindset so we can grow and so we can radiate that positive energy off and bring the good vibrations into us. And then the last column, I want you to do the advantages that I chose to gain. The advantages you chose to gain from these things are where you're going to experience your growth. It's the things that's going to identify these habits that you're making to frame your language, so you're not bringing that energy into your world anymore. Granted, I know bad things that happen, and I know these things are going to continue to happen. So this came at a perfect time. This practice did, because recently we lost a major contract. It was one that employed a lot of people. It was one that was able to generate some revenue for us to help grow our business. And all of a sudden, just like that, it was dropped. We had 4 hours to notify 70 team members that they're no longer on the team and that we no longer have work for them. And that was a terrible moment in the growth of Clean Impact. It was heart-wrenching. And this just happened 2 days ago. And so immediately, it's woe me, man. Gosh, dang it, man. What are we going to do? We had all these plans for this and these team members. And then we realized that this column thing, that I wrote it down and I chose to be frustrated and disappointed about losing the opportunity to earn this money. So what would a loser say? A loser would say, if they lost his contract, man, this is the end of us. I don't know how in the heck we're going to continue to grow. I don't know what we're going to do to provide for these team members' families. And man, it's all the state's fault for being jerks and backing out of a contract. Even though we're performing at a very high level, the damn state just decided to pull this stuff away from us. That was frustrating. And that's what a loser would say. So what you want to do is, what you choose to learn from it. What I chose to learn from this situation is growth is absolutely essential. We do not want to have all of our eggs tied up in one customer. We don't want to be in a position to where one customer can cause our team and our growth so much pain. So the only way to fix that is we continue to grow. We have more customers. We have more people that we're able to serve and help out and keep people safe and healthy. But that's a choice that we decided to make. Growth is essential on this industry because we want to make sure that one person is not going to affect the way we provide for our team members' families. We need to have so many customers and so much culture going on here that one thing is not going to affect it at all. So the advantage that we chose to gain on this is, we want to use the energy and the lessons that we learned from bringing on 70, 80 new team members in a matter of months. All those lessons that we learned, we're going to use to implement to continue to grow our company, to bring on the next level, to take on the next big customer, the best customer, not just some temporary contract, which is what this one was, but instead we can use that energy and the lessons that we've learned to take on the next big whale. We are prepared for it. This opportunity gave us experience. It gave us growth. It gave us confidence. It gave us an amazing team, and it gave us wonderful leadership that is going to allow us to continue to move forward. So again, the make up those columns. What's causing you pain? What's causing you grief right now? And the next column, what would a loser say about those things? The next column is, what did I choose to learn from these lessons? And the final one is the advantage that I chose to gain off this. And I just went through a very realistic example of something that just happened to us 2 days ago and how we decided to change our mind frame and to direct that energy towards positive things. Again, we need to make sure we choose to see the good in the bad. Again, I know there's a lot of terrible things that are happening out there, and I know that those things happen. For example, I don't even want to dive into how bad things can get, but the goal is to just reframe those things. We need to develop that the choices, that you're choosing to see the good and the bad, and we want to develop that the choices that I choose, the choices that I make are going to create a habit by doing it consistently. So you want to consistently identify the good and the bad so that becomes a habit. So you're not being drawn down this negative path. Instead, you're staying focused on all the wonderful things that can come out of it. And it's okay to sulk for a couple minutes, but you got to suck it up and you got to get past that and you got to push forward. So make that into a habit of constantly changing the good into the bad. And you want to assert and strengthen your language and your thought process to go from the victim mindset to the active mindset that promotes growth. So take the victim mindset out of everything and actively seek growth, actively seek being great. Now this can happen just even in your family. This doesn't have to be business related. This could be how you treat your kids or your wife or your spouse. Learn to frame the good, or learn to find the good from the bad. And I'm looking forward to creating my long list of all the things that I feel are happened to me and all the bad things that I felt like that I'm going through, and identifying this thing and reframing my mindset so I can continue to grow. But most importantly, I want to make this a habit. When these bad things happen, I don't want to automatically go into default mode of woe me and kicking rocks around, stuff like that. I want to go to a mindset of, what did I learn from this? What can I take advantage of this? How can this promote growth in myself and in my business and for our team? So I encourage everybody to write those things down, draw up your own list, and I'd really appreciate it if you shared it on this feed so we can see and we can all grow and learn from each other. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and I look forward to our next conversation.